Good evening. 28 luxury cars owned by the family of contractors Sara Discaya are now in the custody of the Bureau of Customs. In a statement, the Bureau of Customs says the Discaya family surrendered 16 additional vehicles on Thursday, September 4. This in addition to the 12 vehicles the agency seized on September 2 through a search warrant at the compound of St. Gerard Construction General Contractor and Development Corporation in Pasig City. According to the Bureau, the 16 additional vehicles are undergoing processing for sealing and documentation. The agency adds that the vehicles will be guarded by customs personnel pending verification of importation records and assessment of duties and taxes. The Bureau of Customs vows to continue investigating the vehicles with the help of the Land Transportation Office. Customs Commissioner Ariel Nepomuceno earlier said the Bureau will not confiscate the vehicles yet. He said that they would be returned if legitimate purchases are proven with authentic documents and all tax liabilities are settled. Meanwhile, the legal counsel of the Discaya couple assured that the luxury vehicles were registered and locally purchased. At a Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on Monday, September 1, Discaya admitted to owning 28 luxury cars. However, Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada believes Discaya owns at least 40 luxury cars. The Department of Justice issues an immigration lookout bulletin order against a total of 43 contractors and government officials allegedly linked to anomalous flood control projects. The DOJ issued the order to the Bureau of Immigration upon receiving separate requests from the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee and Department of Public Works and Highways Chief Vince Dizon. The complete list released on Thursday, September 4 contains the names of both contractors and DPWH officials. An immigration lookout bulletin order enables the Bureau of Immigration to monitor an individual's travel. This is different from a whole departure order that bars a person from leaving the country. Whole departure orders also require issuance by a court. Among the names included in the DOJ's list are couple Sara and Curly Discaya, who own several construction firms. During the Senate Blue Ribbon hearing on Monday, September 1, Sara Discaya admitting to owning and controlling 9 firms. She also admitted that those companies sometimes bid for the same government projects. The Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board has since revoked the licenses of Discaya's 9 companies. Also included in the order is former Bulacan 1st District Engineer Henry Alcantara, who was dismissed from service. Alcantara approved the 55 million peso reinforced concrete river wall in Baliwag, Bulacan that President Bongbong Marcos himself found to be non-existent. The list likewise names Wawaw Builders General Manager Mark Alan Arevalo. Wawaw Builders is the contractor of what Dizon described as a ghost project in Plaridel, Bulacan. Flood survivors and environmental groups throw mud and rocks on the gates of the headquarters of Discaya-owned St. Gerard Construction General Contractor and Development Corporation in Pasig City. In a video posted by the People's Surge National Alliance of Disaster Survivors and Victims on Thursday, September 4, protesters call for the conviction of Sara Discaya and her husband Curly Discaya for their alleged involvement in anomalous flood control projects. Protesters also vandalized the gates with the Filipino words for thief and put to jail. According to People's Surge, their action expresses the rage of flood survivors who continue to suffer displacement, loss of livelihood, and destruction of homes. The groups emphasize that every peso allegedly pocketed by the Discayas and corrupt politicians translates to another family submerged in flood waters. Meanwhile, Discaya's legal counsel Cornelio Samaniego III says the family is threatening to sue those involved in the protest. He also points out that the Discaya family is very scared of the situation. St. Gerard is only one of the 9 Discaya-owned construction companies. During the Senate hearing on Monday, September 1, Sara Discaya admitted that these companies sometimes bid for the same government projects. Following the admission, the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board revoked licenses of all 9 firms. The Discaya couple has also been questioned for owning 28 luxury cars, believed by critics to have been bought by taxpayers' money. House of Representatives party leaders are withdrawing their bid to return the proposed 2026 national budget to the Department of Budget and Management. Speaking to reporters on Thursday, September 4, Palawan's 2nd District Representative Jose Alvarez says both Budget Secretary Amena Pangandaman and Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon called him last night and offered to visit the House. Pangandaman, and Dizon said they will address issues found in the 2026 proposed budget. Alvarez says this was why budget deliberations at the House will continue so that they won't be short on time. House party leaders earlier identified problems afflicting the Department of Public Works and Highways budget that were present in other agencies. Last week, Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno revealed that several items in the 2026 proposed budget contained allocations for projects that have already been finished. During a press briefing on Wednesday, September 3, Puno explained that sticking with the current budget process will result in several amendments through errata. However, the House leaders said that this could once again raise suspicions that the chamber is engaging in irregular realignments. In a separate press conference on Thursday, House spokesperson Princess Abante clarifies that the return of the proposed budget was not a physical one but a request for DBM to address errors in the budget.
Dapat ito itama muna ng DBM muli doon sa kanilang budget proposal na binigay. It is not a physical return. Pero ito yung panawagan ng party leaders sa DBM to review, to revisit, and to correct yung budget proposal. Now, I've seen the interviews of other party leaders and sabi nga nila na kung hindi man yung aktual na pagbabalik, ibig sabihin, dito sa House, magiging mas masinsin ang kanilang pag-deliberate ng bawat budget ng departamento.
The Philippine Navy disputing China's claim of routine patrol off Scarborough Shoal in response to the country's drills with the US, Canada, and Australia near the area. In a statement, Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, says two warships of the People's Liberation Army Navy were monitored 40 nautical miles southeast of Scarborough Shoal. The two Chinese vessels were a Luyang-class guided missile destroyer and a Jiangkai-class frigate. According to Trinidad, the two Chinese warships were monitored during the 10th Multilateral Maritime Cooperative Activity involving the navies of the Philippines, US, Canada, and Australia. Trinidad casts doubt on the purported patrol of the People's Liberation Army Navy made in response to the maritime activity. He says the two Chinese ships followed the International Task Group. He adds that the Chinese vessels were also not conducting any surface serials or synchronized movement that would generally indicate a joint patrol. Trinidad believes China's statements are part of its malign influence operations to justify illegal presence in the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. On Wednesday, September 3, the Southern Theater Command said that the Chinese military conducted routine patrols in the South China Sea in response to the latest joint patrol. Since its effective takeover in 2012, China has enforced what experts call exclusion zone enforcement around Scarborough Shoal. Beijing continues to reject the 2016 Arbitral Award, which declared Scarborough a traditional fishing ground for the Philippines, China, and Vietnam. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.